When you get your InBody, there's some really important information on there, and we're gonna go over that today, and then also how to set your calories and macros from those numbers as well. So on your InBody, you will find near the top where it says lean body mass. And this person, this example, this person has 96 pounds of lean body mass. Now our lean body mass, our muscle, is our metabolic tissue. We do not want to lose that no matter what. So we want to either maintain as we're dropping fat or maybe gain a little bit too. Now, if you haven't worked out in a really long time, you're gonna find this number will actually increase, you know? If you've been working out really hard for a long amount of time, you might find like, okay, I need to decrease some body fat, but this isn't gonna change as much. Again, our metabolic tissue, you wanna hold on to that. That's gonna allow your calorie burn throughout the day to be higher. Okay, so really important number here, lean body mass, all right? Then you have your muscle fat analysis that's a little bit lower down, and that's showing your weight, your skeletal muscle mass, and your body fat mass. So these numbers on your sheet are either gonna create a C, an I, or a D. So when you're connecting your dots, you wanna kind of find, okay, where am I at? So this person, weight 180 pounds, skeletal muscle mass 65 pounds, body fat mass 70 pounds, okay? So they're at a C, and so they're gonna want to progress and try to get to that I, okay? And then ultimately D. So if you're at a D, your skeletal muscle mass is going to be higher, your body fat lower, your weight a little bit lower. But, you know, don't shoot for the fences right away, just progress, okay? So we're trying to get to an I. So again, that skeletal muscle mass, you might gain a little bit of it, but ultimately for this person, their weight wants to go down a little bit, that's gonna drop their body fat mass down, and then they're gonna take that C more to the I. All right, so you can kind of see where you're at, and then just progressing, making those numbers a little bit more fitting. Okay, next one, body fat percent. So for this example, this person's at is at 38%. For an 8-week program, you could drop, you know, some people will get 4%, maybe a little higher, 4 to 6%, okay? So striving for that, and you can talk with your trainers about, you know, what your weight might look like when you do reach that 4%. And then for your BMR, this is going to be kind of on the right side of the page as you're looking, and this is your basal metabolic rate. So this is the calories you need at complete rest, okay? This has nothing to do with any activity throughout the day. So at complete rest, your basal metabolic rate, this example, this person's at 1,500 calories. Now when I'm counseling them and I'm setting calories for them, I would say never go below that amount, because you don't want your body to go into starvation and just hold on to everything. You're not gonna lose any weight, right? So for this individual, not going below that 1,500 calories. So coming over here, we're setting our calories, our protein, our fats, our carbs, and Brian's gonna tell us a little bit more about using these numbers over here.
Thanks, Christy. All right, so up in the calorie range, so this is the fun part, is the eating, you know? And so during Biggest Loser, I can't stress enough that when you eat, you have to make sure it's foods that you're gonna be eating long term. Right, we get a lot of people that just like, I'm gonna win this, I'm gonna go extreme, and they're just eating chicken and lettuce the whole time, and they might drop a lot of weight, but they haven't learned any lifestyle, any ways of eating that's gonna be long-term, and then that's gonna be a detriment. Once you start eating normal again, your weight's gonna just balloon back up. So make sure that you're finding foods that you're gonna enjoy, and as Christy mentioned, you don't wanna eat below that BMR amount. That's where you're really gonna get into a place where your metabolism slows down, thyroid slows down, and then again, if you start eating normal again, your weight goes up. So make sure you're at least at your BMR. One thing in here is if you're burning just a tremendous amount of calories, I'm working out AM, I'm working out PM, I have a job, I'm a nurse over there, I'm walking 5 miles during the day. If your calorie burn is up at 3,000 calories, and then your intake is at 1,500, that's a 1,500 calorie deficit. I would say that's probably too much. Your body's gonna be going after fuel, it's gonna turn your muscle into glucose for fuel, and again, metabolism, thyroid is gonna drop. So I wouldn't go more than like 1,000 calorie deficit at the most. Usually we're recommending like 500 calories just to really maintain that muscle. And if you have a bigger deficit, that's when your protein needs to go up, because your body will go after that muscle to turn it into sugar. So make sure the protein goes up. If you're eating what you're burning, then your body's like, hey, we don't need any extra fuel, so it'll leave that muscle alone. So just kind of keep that in mind. The lower I go calorie wise, higher protein I probably want to go. Then down below here, we're looking at how much protein. You know, this is where this lean body mass is really handy, because it individualizes what you want to do. You could have a 300-pound person, 150-pound person. If you just go off of weight, that body fat percentage really changes like how many calories you're burning, how much muscle you have, what you need. So 96 pounds of lean, and so I just round that up, make it simple, 100 grams of protein. We are gonna create some really fun videos over in Chrissy's kitchen, and we're gonna produce some actual meals that kind of demonstrate what tastes great, what's gonna get you to your goals and achieve just a good amount of protein and balanced fats and carbs. Down here in the fat category, this is where we get back to the calories. So we ate 100 grams of protein, which each gram is 4 calories. So that's 400 calories. So we just take 400 calories of protein off our total, which drops us down to 1,200. And so you got a couple options here. Fat and carbs are your fuel. Fat is really critical for hormone production, testosterone production. I see people that go really low fat, trying to lose fat, testosterone tanks, energy tanks. So make sure you get enough of that, and balanced also between the saturated, monosaturated, and the polyunsaturated. But what you can do is just take this fuel between fat and carbs and cut it in half. So 50% fat, 50% carbs gives me 67 grams of fat and 150 grams of carbs for the day. And over the years, this is some patterns that I've seen, and the books will tell you this too. The more body fat you have, the higher the percentage here, you become more insulin resistant. Meaning when you have those carbohydrates, your body's not going to respond as quickly to them, and your blood sugar level will be up a little higher, longer, wreaking havoc. And when your insulin levels are up, trying to get those carbs in, your fat burning is off, which is fine for a time, but you don't want that to be a constant. So if I'm gonna come in at a higher body fat percentage, usually my carbs will be a little lower until I get leaner. And so maybe it's like over here where I'm at like 80 grams a day, and then I get the rest of those calories from my fat, so this bumps up to 97 grams of fat for that. So each gram of fat is 9 calories, each gram of carb is 4 calories, and that's the information you get from your InBody. Again, we're gonna go into much greater detail. We're gonna bring in a couple other trainers that have some great ideas also. So look forward to those videos. All right.